Hello everyone. In this video I would like to show you that the data that is provided by the web service can be used really easy in many different ways. For the first example, I will use a program that is probably known by everyone, Excel. Excel is well known to collect data, to save them in table form and to edit them. But Excel can also import data from various external sources. This could be done doing the following. So click on a data, retrieve data from different sources, and here you can find the option from the web. This means that I can retrieve data from a web address. By clicking on this, the input mask appears. And important information here, this input mask is only available from Office 2013. It's not available for older Office versions. As URL, you can use the IP address of the master, and don't forget the HTTP. And because we want to use data from the web service, we have to add /ports.jsn. If a firmware version older than 3.3 is used, then you have to use dprop.json. After that, click OK. And this starts the query editor. And here you can see the two objects which we have seen before. They are provided by the web service like interface and ports, and they are already worked up in a table. This means that the JSON file the web service is providing gets broken down by Excel directly and can be used directly. So you can see the ports property in a list, for example. And behind that list, there is a total of 16 entries, respectively the 16 ports that we have in the biggest master. In the current setup, you have connected an optical I/O link sensor to the master. And this I/O link sensor is not just able to give out normal switching signals like object detected, not detected. It has already also an integrated counter, and you can read this by the process data. This you can see by choose the record at port 1 where the sensor is connected. And here you can see all the metadata of the sensor and all process data inputs and outputs. So now we have requested the web service of the master, and we got this file from him. Here you can convert that into a table, then you can save and close it, and afterwards you have all the data inserted in an Excel table. I can show it by triggering the sensor several times now. And as a result, the counter value increases a little bit. So now if I click on update here, pay attention to the process data. If I press on update, the process data is respectively changing. So what have I done right now? I have created a link between the sensor and my Excel spreadsheet, which can be constantly updated by me. I have all process data in one string here. So now I can use the internal Excel functions to calculate my process value from this data string. We can do this right now by first eliminating all spaces from this string. That could be done with the substitute function. Here you can enter the text which we want to format, and the old text which we want to replace, this one would be the spaces. And then the new text which we want to insert for that. This would be no spaces. And as a result, I have eliminated all spaces from this string. Afterwards, I can extract the correct process data from the string. The best way to find out how the process data is built up, you can take a look in the manual of the sensor itself. So the operating manual can be found at the home page via the search function by entering the product ID. There you switch to the page of the sensor like you would do for the IODD, and in the download area you can find a manual of the sensor. And in the manual, in the section Process Data, you can see how the process data is structured. So the process data is consisting of 3 bytes, and our count value is coded in the first 2 bytes. That means by applying that to our Excel program, I can extract the first 2 bytes out of our string. For this, you have to know that the hex system 2 signs means 1 byte. So that means if we have to extract the first 4 signs to get the first 2 bytes. You can do this by using the MID function of Excel. This function enables you to extract individual text sections from a complete text. First, specify which text you want to edit, so without spaces, the one without spaces. Then I have to define my first position. In our case, it's the first sign, and that we want to have 4 signs. As a result, I have extracted the first 4 signs of the string. Now I want to convert the hex value in a decimal value. This could also be done by another Excel function called hex2dec. And this function converts an hex number to a decimal number. Now we have a counter value of 24. I will trigger the sensor a couple of times again. Then we can update the query here. And as you can see, the counter increases accordingly. I just do it again. And again, the counter value increases. Within a few minutes, we have implemented a value from a sensor directly into Excel and processed it also directly to get a real-life decimal value that can be used immediately. Now you can develop the system even further by adding more functions. For example, that you can query the updates automatically, and that then this value automatically gets copied, for example, and into a new list to automatically create a graph. So thanks for listening and enjoy trying out.